I've installed a lot of drawer slides, and over the last 10 years I've developed a unique solution that takes all of the frustration, the figuring, the special tools out of the equation. It makes installing a drawer like this using full extension drawer slides perfect on the very first try. So for this video, we're going to install the drawer is underneath our induction cooktop. And originally I thought the induction cooktop would need a lot more clearance, but after we installed it and read the directions, there's definitely a lot of room for a drawer that still meets code. So I'm going to go ahead and add a drawer in here. What I did to prep this space is I removed the false drawer that was in here, and I put a little bit extra support behind this 1x2 because it is spanning quite a distance. So I just threw a 2x2 in there for extra support. So what we're looking at here is a face frame cabinet, which means that there's a carcass and then there's this face frame trim on the front. What we need to do is where the drawer slide is going to go needs to be brought in so it's flush with the face frame. So the first thing I'm going to do is take these pieces of 3/4 inch plywood that I cut, and they don't have to be exact length or anything, it's just a spacer. And bring them in here and nail them, and this is just going to bring where I'm going to mount the drawer slides flush to the inside of the face frame. Make sure your cabinet carcass is square, and also if you're using 1x12s for the side or solid wood, look out for any cupping or anything that can pinch that drawer as it's trying to travel in. Now I need to figure out where I want the drawer slide mounted. I like to mount the drawer slides about where the handle is, so you're pulling right where it slides, but you have a lot of variation and your situation could be different. So just kind of figure out where you want the center of the drawer slide to be and make a mark. And you're going to want to make those marks on both sides of the cabinet where you're going to install the drawer slide. And then take a level and we're going to draw a line. So this is the full extension drawer slide I'm going to be using. You can buy these at most home improvement stores. They're about half price or even cheaper online if you buy them in quantity. And one thing I want you to notice is we have a cabinet member, which is this larger piece, and it separates from the drawer member. So there's two pieces. The cabinet member is the larger and the drawer member is the smaller. If you notice the way that this drawer is going to travel, all of the screw holes are in line. So just think about that as you're installing it. We're not trying to figure out where the top of the slide is, the bottom of the slide is. We're just trying to remember that the center of these drawer slides are all in the same line. So that line that I drew here, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put it like that where the line's on top. I'm going to put it where the line's right in the middle of the screw holes. And I'll screw that on. So the most important thing here is not holding this exactly right when you screw it in. It is starting your screw right in the center of that line. As long as you start your screw in that line, you're going to be good. Okay, so the cabinet members are installed. So now I'm going to start working on the drawer. This is the drawer member, and you want to cut your drawer side to the same length as your drawer member. So this is a 14-inch drawer slide, so I cut the drawer side to 14 inches. Now it's going to be a little bit shy because these usually run like 13 7/8, like a little bit smaller than the drawer side. Just cut it whatever the package says, like 22-inch drawer slide, cut your side to 22 inches long. Okay, now we're going to figure out where we want to mount this on the drawer side. Okay, so I'm just going to take the drawer side that I cut, and I'm just going to kind of figure out where do I want that to be. And remember, there's no bottom on it, so I'm leaving room for a bottom. I want this one kind of low just to give me clearance for that induction top, so that looks about right. And I'm just going to mark that. And there's some play there. So now I'm just going to figure out where I made that mark, and it looks like it's right in the center of this 1x4. So I'm going to say 1 3/4, 1 3/4. Use a straight edge and draw a line. And this ends up being the front of the drawer. This is what's inserted into the drawer slide. So we want to place this so the line is in the holes. So what I recommend here is, if you can, start the screw in the holes that have the up and down adjustment. Because that way you'll have the ability to move the drawer slide up or down slightly if you need to. You can see this is mounted with the holes, the line going right through the center of the holes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put this in the drawer slide. Okay, so I got the 2 drawer sides installed. Now notice there's a little bit of flexibility there. So what you want to do is make sure they're sliding good and everything's happy. Make sure they're in there, and then take an inside measurement. So whatever that is. So I got 33.5. I'm going to take that same measurement in the back. Make sure it matches. If it doesn't match, you want to take the smaller of the 2 measurements. So let's say I had 33 and 5/8 and 33.5. I'm going to go with 33.5. I'm going to go downstairs and cut me 2 1x4s. That will be the drawer front and the back. Pocket hole them, come up and attach them and see if that works. I could actually install it in place, but I'm going to pull it out and do it just because I think that might be easier in this situation. I'm just going to remove these. And obviously you could build your drawer box, you know, the old-fashioned way where you just take the measurements, figure out everything. I like this method because it takes any of the guesswork out, or if you have any variances. So if, for example, your drawer material is 5/8 of an inch thick instead of 3/4 of an inch thick, you don't have to do all that math and try to figure it out. Or if you have like an off-brand drawer slide that needs more or less clearance, you know, all the guesswork is taken out. Okay, so the most important thing with the drawer sides is to make sure that your cabinet members of the drawer sides are orientated so that the tab is on the front on both sides. And I'm just going to line those up. You could screw these together, there's nothing wrong with that. I have a pocket hole jig, it's easy, so I'll do it this way. Okay, so there is my drawer box. I'm going to test it one more time before I put a lock on it. So that's absolutely perfect on the very first try. If anybody has ever tried installing these drawer slides, it's like a guessing game. Should I hold it in an eighth or quarter more or less? This is perfect, and you don't even have to do any math. When you build a drawer, it can end up being like a parallelogram where it's out of square. I know this plywood is square, so what I did first is I nailed that edge on square, and now as I'm working my way down here, I'm squaring up to the drawer to that plywood edge, and that way I know my drawer is going to be square. There's the drawer all done. I'll probably add some dividers in there just because it's quite a large drawer, but I do want to talk about something real quick. Is I just use 1/4 inch plywood on the bottom of this drawer, and the reason I felt like I could get away with that is the span is only about 12 inches here. But if you have a really big drawer with a really big span, you know, the drawer could start to sag in the middle, or the weight of the drawer could fall out on you, so you may want to use like 3/8 inch plywood on the bottom of your drawer. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and test it out now. That is a perfect drawer. So I'm going to go ahead and put the face on it and we'll be done. Okay, so the thing about the drawer face is we want to attach it from the back with the screws, but we have to light it up first. So what I do is I'll get it exactly where I want it. We'll throw a couple nails in. Avoid anywhere that you're going to plan on putting hardware so you don't have to drill a handle through a nail. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is open this up, and it's barely on there. I'll throw a couple screws in to further secure it. I'm just going to fill those little nail holes up with some wood filler, touch it up with some paint, put the handles on, and I'm done. So that was the easiest drawer that I've ever installed, and probably one of the smoothest I've ever installed. I wish I'd known all these tips and tricks over the years and all the projects that I've done. So now that I've taken out the guesswork and shared all my little secrets and tips, it's going to be a breeze for you to take drawer slides and make your home awesome. So I hope this drawer slide video is helpful to you. If you have any tips that you've learned along the way, leave them in the comments. We'd love to hear any little tricks that you have that could even improve how I install drawer slides. If you're looking for any plans that use drawer slides, head on over to my website. I'll leave a link in the description. We have thousands of plans and a lot of them use drawer slides. And we appreciate you guys watching. Please take a second to subscribe and like this video, and we shall see you next Monday.
Thank you.